It was first standard when I felt something for a woman for the first time in my life. Because in my first standard, I was not so good in the studies, and my class teacher was like, Yadhuvir, you get up, you go and sit with her. She's intelligent. All the time I sat with her, I was just like loving all of that time. I loved the time I used to sit. I used to wait for when I have to go to school and I will just sit next to her. It was like for the first time feeling those kind of emotions, because before this time, it's like everyone just loves me. My parents loves me, my sisters love me, my brothers love me, everyone just loves me, and now I'm feeling that kind of love for someone else, and I don't know what is this emotion. So yeah, man, I don't know if it was love or something else, but that different feeling for a woman for the first time, I think this is what they call love. I felt that when I was in first standard. 3 biggest reality shattering experiences. Interesting. So the first one would be when I was in 9th standard, it was 2009. I collected money for like 2 weeks to buy a perfume for this woman whom I was liking since my first standard. I finally collected money to buy a perfume. It took me 2 weeks to collect 500 bucks in 9th standard, 2009. 2 weeks I collected money, finally bought the perfume with like so much of love. Next day it was a birthday, I gave her the perfume, she broke it. Okay, and I was just like showing to everyone, it's okay man, it's okay. And it didn't impact my emotions. That's what I was showing to everyone. I'm strong, it's okay. But I was hurt. I was deeply hurt. I hustled so much to arrange money and to get a gift for her, and didn't even took a second to break it. And it really hurt me. So yeah, man, it was a trauma that was created inside me, because till this point of time, everyone is just like loving you, and for the first time you come to know that if you love someone, it's not necessary that they have to love you back. It was for the first time a gift given to someone has been broken by them. It was really reality shattering, and it broke my heart. And it changed me a lot actually. After this point of time, I started becoming really abusive towards women. Not just her, all women. Because whenever I see now that this woman is trying to take my friend away from me, I start abusing them, that don't come near me. And it was all because of this trauma that happened in my 9th standard. The second reality shattering experience would be when I changed this school after 10th standard. I went to a convent school, filled with sisters. It's a boys' school. I went to the convent school for the first time, boys' school, and I'm showing to everyone, hey, I'm from England, I have these green eyes, the accent, all of that. I used to tell everyone I'm from England. Why? Because I wanted to feel important. I wanted to feel that I have some kind of importance. I wanted to feel special. Because of that incident that happened in 9th standard, I started thinking that I do not have any importance. No one actually likes me. So I started putting up a false front in front of everyone, where I am showing that I am from England and I'm from England. And whenever I see that someone is trying to know more about it, I would just try to hide myself. I used to start thinking that this guy is against me, although he was not. So I was in 11th standard and I started going for IIT coaching. So dude, my school fee was 6,000 rupees for 3 months. And the people who used to come for that IIT coaching, they used to study in a fucking posh school. Their monthly fees used to be 10,000 bucks. I used to pay 6,000 for 3 months. So I used to have this limiting belief, I have seen a lot of movies, I am not rich, so no one can like me. I'm not even good looking, because if I was good looking, why did she break my gift? So I was having a lot of limiting beliefs, where I used to think that the women I want in life, I don't deserve them. So I started liking a woman in this institute, and I wanted her to be with me. I wanted to be her boyfriend. And then how did I started initiating everything with her? So before every class, our chemistry professor used to make everyone stand up and ask questions from them from the previous lecture. So she was beautiful, she was good looking, she was amazing, and she was dumb. So it was like the best combination. I was like a little bit intelligent. So she don't used to know the answers of the questions that the chemistry professor used to ask. So I used to tell her the answers to the questions, and she used to sit down and she used to smile. And I used to look at that smile and think, it's working, it's working. So one day I asked for a chemistry notebook, and she was like, I have an exam tomorrow. I'm like, it's okay, I'm going to give it back to you tomorrow in the morning. She was like, okay. And I took her notebook to my home, and I didn't come back for 2 days. Why? What was I doing? I was writing a letter, okay? So I wrote a letter and I was not having a perfume so that it can smell good. You see, it took me 2 weeks to collect money to buy a perfume. I don't used to have perfumes at that point of time, but I used to have a hair gel. So I applied the hair gel on the letter and then I started drying it. And the paper became so hard, like you can literally break the paper. So this place where I'm right now, where I'm shooting these videos, there used to be guys, like quite older than me. They used to stay here and study in the college which is nearest to me, Lovely Professional University. So I came downstairs, I showed them the letter and I was like, see if it sounds good. They literally underlined and circled the grammatical errors. And I have to write the letter again, did the same thing again, get it checked by these guys. And I kept the letter at the end of the notebook, went to the institute the next day, gave her the notebook and just escaped from there. Like, this is something which is really bad. I did a really bad thing. I just escaped from there. But I can still see what she is doing. She was still in my line of sight. So this is what she did. She took the paper out. She started reading the letter. She read the letter. She passed it to her friend. Okay. So the friend started reading the letter and then the friend passed it behind. Now the people sitting behind started reading letter and this is how the letter was passed in the whole class. And I was like, fuck. So this was another reality shattering experience. Then the woman whom I gave letter, she was having a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was the son of the trustee of the school where she is studying. So that guy came with his friends to, threaten me, like stay away from her. And I was like so depressed, man, what the fuck is happening? Then 5 years down the line, those guys, one of the guy who came to threaten me, he took a boot camp with me. So yeah, man, it feels really good when stuff like this happens. Another trauma that happened which told me that no one likes me. Okay, so I was so stressed when this was happening. I left the institute, I came back home, I locked myself in the room for 4 days. I don't used to eat a lot of food, I don't used to let anyone come inside because I was depressed. Dude, I cannot go to my school because the guys who are studying with me are in the institute as well and they would have told everyone in the school, this fucker Yadhuvir, he did something like this. And I cannot go to the institute because everyone in the institute came to know who the fuck this guy is. So I was so fucking depressed and my brother, he came downstairs, he told other guys that, my brother is going through this kind of phase. So one guy, he don't used to talk to me much, but that day he was like, oh, call him downstairs. So I came downstairs, I was like everyone is saying like, oh, it's okay bro, you will get over it, He's gonna do something like that. But instead he was like, bro, why didn't you tell her that you like her? I was like, what the fuck, man, this guy is different. Everyone is like, it's okay. He's like, why didn't you talk to her? And then I was like, bro, she would have slapped me. She would have, thrown her sandal at me like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, bro, none of that shit happens. I just couldn't believe what he was saying. And then he's like, what if I show you something that can help you to get what you want in life? Like, what do you mean? Then he showed me an infield. He showed me a video of a man approaching a woman. No, it was not of the major companies that you know of right now because it's 2011 I'm talking about, the beginning of 2011. WhatsApp was not there. There were no WhatsApp groups. YouTube was not easily accessible because it was still 2G going on, second generation of internet. So internet was not that fast. So people were not dependent on these videos that you are seeing right now. I was not able to access such videos. If I want help from someone, I'll have to help myself. I cannot ask someone because I don't know how to reach them. Like right now you guys can reach to this video. At that point of time there was no one. But somehow he showed me a video of a guy in Israel. He approached this woman, started talking to her, started making out with her, took her number and came back. So when I saw that, I was like, fucking shit, man. But then I was like, scripted, man. It's scripted. It's not true. Then he showed me one more. Then he showed me one more. And then I was like, fucking shit, man. I think this shit works. But then I was like, it cannot work in India, bro. It's Israel, it can work in other countries, but it cannot work in India. He said, bro, I do it. Then I was like, okay, man. I want to learn something like this. He's like, okay, I can give you a book, but what can you give me in return? I was like, bro, I'm depressed. I'm in 11th standard. I don't have money to give you. I'm still a student. And he's like, okay, do you have a book? I was like, yep. I used to have this book called as a friendship factor because at that point of time, I used to think that if a woman accepts your friendship band on the friendship day, she's your girlfriend. Okay. So I gave him the friendship factor and he gave me the mystery method. So yeah, I read the mystery method. I read And dude, those days when I used to read Mystery Method, I used to hide it from my parents because my parents should not come to know what our son is reading. Basically, it was psychology, but I used to have this sexual shame that if my parents come to know that I'm reading some kind of psychology that is related to having sex, that is related to women, they're gonna beat the shit out of me. So yeah, man, I used to hide from them and read the book. And after 1 month, I completed the book. And this guy was like, "Have you completed?" I'm like, "Yup." He's like, "Let's go out." I'm like, "Bro, I know I won't be able to clear IIT. I'll go to Canada and I'll do this over there." He's like, "No, bro, we're gonna do it now." So we went out. I got ready, man. I was like looking like a hero. I went out and he parked the bike. And as soon as he parked the bike, there was a woman walking in front of us. And he was like, "Bro, open." I'm like, "Bro, slow. People will listen. What are you saying? Open, open." And he was like, "Bro, no one knows what's the meaning of open." I'm like, "Yeah." And then he started walking away towards this woman. And I was like ready to run away. Like, I am not with this guy. I don't know him. And if some shit happens, I was not even here. So I was so afraid that what the fuck is he doing? He's literally going and talking to a dude. I don't even... The place where I'm right now, it's not even a city. It's a suburban area. Dude, it's like not a city, it's not a village, it's like both. Okay? And he's doing something like that over there. So he did that. He started talking to her. He shook her hand and they both started smiling. Then she took her phone out. And I was like, done. She's going to call other guys and she's going to beat the shit out of him. But then he took his phone out and then he came back and then he was like, "I'm meeting her this Saturday for coffee." I was like, fuck, man. But still I couldn't believe it. Until the coming Saturday, he brought this woman to this place where I'm making this video right now, and the shit happened. So yeah, man, these two experiences were another reality shattering experiences when, she distributed the letter in the whole class, reality shattered. And then after 4 days, I'm seeing pickup happening in front of me, reality shattered. It's like the first time you're like, this shit works. Psychology works. Whatever I've learned, it works. So yeah, man, it's reality shattering. It was literally like, where was I living all these years? I was living in some lie, man. So yeah, these were 3 reality shattering experiences from me. And when I look back to where I was, to who I am right now, what an amazing journey, man. 3 biggest horrific moments would be, the first one is when I got molested. I got molested 5 times in my life by guys only. I was 3 years old, I got molested. I was 5 years old, then I got molested. I was 9 years old, then I got molested. Then I was 15 years old when I got molested. I think I got molested when I was 12 or 13 years old as well. So I got molested 5 times in my life, and I started thinking something like, dude, am I gay? I don't know. Why are these guys doing something like this to me? Am I gay? I don't know. Do I look like that? I started questioning myself, and I was like this in some kind of trauma. And it is so horrible that whenever I used to sleep, I can see that guy is trying to kiss me from here to over here, and I just wake up. My brother, he's sleeping right next to me, and if his hand touches my hand, I used to get conscious, Like if I'm sleeping with my mother and my mother's hand touches my hand, I used to get conscious. I was so afraid of touch because with the touch, the trauma has been associated in my brain, okay? So yeah, man, that molestation, it took me a lot of time to let go of that stuff, to get over it, and to forgive all of those guys. So yeah, man, these molestations were really horrible. The second horrific moment will be when I left my relatives for what I'm doing right now. Like when my relatives came to know that I'm a dating coach, they'll be like, "What? Dude, you are Rajput, you have our family name. You are dissolving our family name. You are dating coach. You talk about sex." It's like the same thing. Those guys were in sexual shame as well. Sex. Like, dude, you guys have kids. You do it. I teach guys this. I started teaching it because I need to tell the guys the right way to go and talk to women, because it's always better if guys know how to go and talk to women instead of directly going and grabbing their hands or becoming a pedophile and molesting kids who cannot even talk. Like, the first time I got molested, I couldn't even tell my mother because I thought I made a mistake. It's my mistake, I did something like this. So 5 times, all the times I was thinking, it's my mistake, something is wrong with me. Yeah, man, they were also in the sexual shame, and they were like, "You are dissolving our family name." And I'm like, "Listen, do you remember when is my birthday?" And they were like, "No." And then I'm like, "Do you think I will take seriously whatever you are saying to me? Because I know you don't really care about me. You just want to point stuff about me because you want to tell my parents, see, this is what your kid doing. Okay, so I'm not going to take anything that you are saying seriously because you don't even know my birthday and you say you're my relative. So yeah man, I had to leave my relatives and I have to let them go to be where I am right now. The third horrific moment would be, man, the first time I had sex, because it's like the first time it's happening, man, it's happening and you're so excited about it, and then you see this woman is just lying naked in front of you and you are lying naked in front of her, but your dick is not getting up. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck, it's not happening. Do I have a problem? So I went in this loop of, do I have a problem? I started having performance anxiety, like what's wrong with me? So I started thinking about it so much that I went in my head and I was not getting any erection. Dude, she tried her best, but I was not getting erection at all. Somehow I got erection. The moment we started having sex, I came in like seconds, and it was so shameful, man. Dude, first it was not getting up, finally it got up and you came in seconds. Okay, so I had to tell her that this is my first time, and she's like, I know. So when she said, I know it's your first time, it was like a huge relief for me, because I wanted to hide from her that this is not my first time. So yeah man, these were like the 3 most horrific moments in my life. Dude, first time I went to college, I was like, everyone should know what kind of person am I, because 2013 I started going to college, and by that time I used to think that there is no one in India who does something that I am doing. I'm the only one, no one knows what I'm doing. So I went to college, I started gaming women. I took number of 3 women from my class only, and dude, later they came to know that, dude, this Yadhuvir took my number, he took my number as well, and dude, these women just started talking shit about me, and now everyone in the college knows what kind of person Yadhuvir is, and every woman just stays away from Yadhuvir. But the thing was that Yadhuvir was never a bad guy. It was just that he was always in the need of recognition, he was always in the need of attention, he was always in the need of feeling that I matter, that I am important. He was always afraid of that I am not gay. So to prove this to himself, he used to show to other people that, see, I'm with so many women, so don't think of me as gay. So it was because of his own inner securities, this Yadhuvir of 2013 was fucking up all around the places, and I took care of this degraded image of mine in the college by organizing a TEDx. So when I organized this TEDx, there was like 90 people working under me. I'm handling sponsorships and all of those things, and for the first time Mercedes-Benz came into my college, and my college was like, who the fuck is this guy? How can he do that? And then my college offered me a job that after your degree you can just work in our administrative department. I was like, nope, I'm never going to do jobs. So yeah man, I organized TEDx, I regained that image back, and with the help of TEDx, I was able to connect with a lot of people and understand how do people actually think. So I was still 22 years old when I organized TEDx, and 22-year-old boy handling 6 lakhs. It's like for the first time I'm holding 6 lakhs in my hand. Never before that time I have holded 6 lakhs in my hand. I'm still 22 years old. And by the end of the TEDx, I had to give 1.5 lakh more to a hotel where the speakers were staying. So I was not having 1.5 lakhs more. Where to get it from? I was so depressed. The hotel is calling me every day. I don't know what to do. Suddenly, a guy called me. He's like, bro, I know what you do. I want to learn what you do, and I will even pay you for that. I was like, ding, ding, ding. I started getting money by teaching this stuff. I became a dating coach then after TEDx out of necessity, because I needed money to pay the hotel. So the first bootcamp was in September 2016. The bootcamp price was $500. Then, in just December 2016, and just in 3 months, in December 2016, I was in Bangalore, and the price of one bootcamp was $20,000. In just 3 months, I went from 500 per person to 20,000 per person. Instant growth. Why? Because people were in need of a dating coach. Best feeling of life would be the first time I did night game. So till 2015, I was getting laid, I was having a lot of sex, but I have never went into a nightclub to approach women. I used to go to streets, I used to go to malls to approach women, but I never went to nightclub to approach a woman, to enjoy the night game. So 2014 or 15, I think for the first time I went to the night game, and dude, It was just so stimulating, the music is so loud, and I just started going inside more and more, like, what the fuck, man, women are wearing so short clothes. I've never seen women wearing these short clothes. So I was like, what the fuck, how do you game them? These are fucking Ambanis, I don't know how to talk to them. Then I asked my friend, bro, how do you open them? He just opened a woman like, hey, hi, what's your name? Just turn around. Like, fuck, this is so simple. I just started talking to a woman, and dude, first time I went to night game, I made out with a woman. And that day I was literally flying, man. I was singing a song. Udta hi phiru in hawaon mein kahin. I was dancing, singing. Like, I made out with a woman for the first time I went to the night game. I was so happy about it. And yeah, man, that was the best feeling ever of my life. How was the journey? It's still going on. It hasn't ended yet. Till now, fantastic, man. Will I stop gaming? Yes, I will stop gaming, because if you see, there is no point of it. There is no end to it. Where does it end? See, if I approach 10 women a day, that means 300 a month. Out of those 300 women, 100 women gave me their numbers. Out of these 100 women, 50 women came to meet me. Out of these 50 women, let's just say 20 women came to my home. And out of these 20 women, I was able to have sex with only 10 women. So if I was able to have sex with 10 women in a month, that's 120 in a year, 1200 in 10 years. But the thing is that it's probably more than that. There was a point in my life when I was so proud about it. I was so proud about fucking a lot of women. Like, if I go in front of Bill Gates, I'm like, hey, I have fucked more than 1200 women. He would be like, dude, I will organize an orgy of 3000 women right now. So the thing is that I was so proud of fucking these women. I was like, I used to feel like I'm more of a man now. I'm more of a man now. And I was like so proud about it. And I, these newbies, these guys who were just new to game, I used to just like, just like get away. You don't even deserve to come near to me. But then this woman whom I really like so much, she told me one thing. She asked me one thing. She said, Yadhu, why do you always want to be right? Like, no, it's nothing like that. She was like, even right now you want to be right. And then I was like, dude, I was feeling that she is telling the truth. But I was also feeling the resistance that I cannot say, yes, you are telling the truth. Because I created an identity, and if I say that, yes, you are telling the truth, this identity will shatter. Then who am I? Then what was all of this experience? So I was feeling this resistance, and then she suddenly asked another question. Why are you so defensive? And like, no, I'm not defensive. Why are you thinking I'm defensive? Then she's like, you just turned defensive. Then I was like, fuck, man, she's telling the truth. That point of time, I was like, dude, there is some problem with me. There are some traumas with me, there is some pride with me, there is some identity that I have created, I am having some identity crisis. I went to the ashram in the beginning of 2016. I stayed in the ashram for 1 year, not like continuously stayed in the ashram. I used to go to the ashram, attend some discourses, attend some course, come back, go to the ashram again. I'm not talking about Sri Sri, I'm talking about an ashram that didn't charge me any money. The gurus in this ashram, they look at you, and if they see that this guy deserves to be here, they will ask you to be here, they will teach you stuff, and they will not even ask money from you. It's not like they don't want to be famous, okay? They don't want to be famous gurus. They are actual spiritual gurus. They don't want to be famous. They don't go to people, people come to them. So I went to this ashram and I attended a lot of programs, and I finally became this spiritual guy who was able to connect with his traumatic self, his shamed self, his pride self, like different types of selves that I have created in my own actual self. So I was able to connect with them, I integrated those fragments, I was feeling complete again. And then I finally combined spirituality and game, and the final product was phenomenal. People started getting fulfilling relationship, the women started liking them for who they are, and I basically understood that I don't have to make women stay with me. Instead, I have to be the kind of man. Instead, I have to be the kind of man with whom women naturally want to be with. So if you ask me, will I stop gaming? I would say yes, for sure I'm going to stop gaming, because there is no end point to it. You'll just keep on fucking around with women. It doesn't end anywhere, okay? And I want to have kids as well. See, I have friends who are lawyers and they tell me, but bro, there is no point in marriage. She's going to take your money away. I have seen successful marriages, okay? And there are more successful marriages than unsuccessful marriages, okay? So I'm pretty much convinced that monogamy can exist. Does not matter how many points you give me. I have more experiences with women than those lawyers who tell me about how women are going to cheat you and steal money away from you. Because I think these lawyers who thinks like this, they have themselves gone through some kind of trauma, and they have seen other people gone through some kind of trauma, or maybe they are afraid that I don't want this same kind of trauma to happen to me. So this way they are not even able to trust a woman at all. Okay, so the thing with me is that I really believe that a successful marriage can work, and I am going to get married one day. I'm not going to keep on doing this. I'm going to open a restaurant in few years. So yeah man, pickup is going to end for me really soon. So if you have liked this video, give me a thumbs up. This was a life story of a seducer, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content.